Right now, we want to bring on the new athletic director at Boston College. Pat Kraft joins us. Pat, how are you, man? Congratulations.
I'm doing awesome. Thanks, I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here with y'all. I know you guys just got back to live, so it's good to be one of the first few guests after COVID, or in COVID, actually.
I will tell you, we had Jeff Hafley on right after he was named, and he said, man, I got boxes all over the place. I'm going 200 miles an hour. I don't know what day of the week it is. It must become a BC thing now. So I'm going to ask you, do you know what day of the week is? Do you know where your home is? I mean, are you just spinning 100 miles an hour? What's going on?
Yeah, I have no idea. Thank goodness for my wife. She keeps everything in order. No, it's been a blessing. It's a great problem to have, though. But no, it's been a whirlwind. Making sure everything at Temple is situated. I think it's as important how you leave as how you start. So, but we couldn't be more excited about the future.
Pat, when you take a job, anytime, it's always a fascinating process, whether it's in athletic administration, whether it's coaching. We talked to Ryan Blagg last week, who had taken the Louisville men's golf job during this pandemic. Steve Forbes has taken the Wake basketball job during this pandemic. How does one go through the AD process during the pandemic? Because I know there are a lot more levels to that than there are to, no offense to coaches, but there's a few more levels to hiring an athletic director than there are just hiring a coach, right?
Yeah. You get real used to Zoom and seeing your own face when you're talking to people, which is not good for me. But it was, I think that was part of the whole connection and draw for me, was how great people were just through this process, because it is difficult. And the relationship I built with the search committee and the folks involved, and obviously Father Leahy, solidified it even more for me. I mean, I always wanted to be at BC, and to have it through this, medium was difficult, but it even made it, I think, more the connection and special for us, because it was, the people were so wonderful even through this process. This type of interaction. So it was difficult, but you're looking at houses and you have to suit up. You got to put the mask on, the gloves, the booties. It'll be a different process moving. I will say that.
You had great success at Temple. What made BC the right fit for you, and vice versa?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm proud of what we accomplished at Temple, and we were really happy at Temple. And so, I said yesterday it was going to take a really special opportunity, and this was it. This is the job for me. Since my time at, I was a professor at Loyola University in Chicago, and then I worked in the administration, the sport administration there. The Jesuit piece is enormous. The Jesuit values are so critical to my own transformation as a person. So that was a major piece into it. And when your values as a person, and your personal values and your family values can match your professional values, I mean, that's really rare. And so that's what really excited me. And then the other thing is the momentum is really upward. The trajectory is upward. And so I was excited about what we can accomplish there. And the more I got to talk to the people, they believed in it. There was alignment. I think there is nothing we can't accomplish at the heights. And so when you have all that, it's a great situation. And I want to be part of that community. I wanted my family to be part of that community. And so that's it was really kind of a match made in heaven.
Pat, one of the things that, and I know in athletic administration, sometimes there's different philosophies and different installations and those type things that come with the change of an athletic director. But it seems like that you are a perfect fit, not only for Boston College, but you're a perfect fit to kind of follow Martin Jarmon here. And I'm not trying to compare guys. I just think your work experience and your personality seemed to be a real nice follow to the work he did there in 3 years. Do you know Martin? And by the way, did you talk with him at all about what Boston College was like and what kind of hand you were being dealt?
Yeah, so the athletic director community is pretty close, and so we all we see each other in passing a lot. And first off, Martin was fantastic. We came up to the Heights and played a couple of years ago, and he was great, and we got to connect there. And And I did talk to Martin after everything was, he was one of the first phone calls. I was so appreciative to just talk to him, pick his brain, and I'm going to continue to do that. I appreciate what you said. I do think, Martin did an amazing job. He's hired great coaches. He's really set the stage for a great future. And so, I will stay connected to Martin. He's going to do a great job at UCLA. And I think this is a perfect fit. I really believe that. And so I think when you can I believe when you walk into a situation that's really positioned for greatness, now it's up to us to carry that forward.
Pat, you're in a unique position coming from Temple. Again, I think of Eagles, I think of the Sixers. It's a pro market. And again, Temple had great success. Now you go to Boston, one of the most famous sports towns in America, given its pro success. Surely there's got to be a connection there that you understand that, hey, the challenge at BC, much like what Miami faces in their situation, Georgia Tech and Atlanta, Pittsburgh, obviously, in their town, it's a pro town, but yet a college world can survive. Talk about how that delicate balance that you got to find that niche and go for it.
Yeah, no, that's the same conversations were had here when I first got here. And I do appreciate and understand the pro environment. I mean, it's Eagles all the time. We were here when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. What I will tell you, though, is I'm not going to allow that to be an excuse for us. We have an incredible alumni group that are alumni that are so passionate about BC. We have an incredible student body. This is a national brand. We are different than the pro sports, the pageantry of college athletics, the traditions. All of those things lend itself to engagement, a different type of engagement than the Patriots. Look, it's Titletown. I'm excited to be a part of that. I also will say the benefit is they know sports. The people in Philadelphia understood sports, and so do the people in Boston. And so, we've got to look in the mirror and do what we need to do to give them something to rally behind. But I see it as a great opportunity. I don't let that get in the way. We got to engage our alumni. I already know in a few short days how passionate the BC alums are, and they're all over the place. And so I can't wait to get them fired up and get them, they got to be part of this process, and so do the students. And so we just keep chopping wood, but we'll be all right. That doesn't faze me.
Pat, not only are the alums and the students usually pretty passionate, the former student athletes who are alums have really rallied here in the last couple of years. A lot of them were involved with Martin on the football decision and the intel for Jeff Hafley's hire. You've got basketball players, you've got baseball players now up and down the line. I mean, it's a really, really unique momentum that former student athletes have now at Boston College, I think, as well.
Yeah, and we had this here, and we had at Temple, and we had it really everywhere. You got to understand what your history is. The history at BC is incredible. There's incredible athletes, not only that went on to the pros, but have gone on to do other things successfully in their lives. Mm-hmm. We have to embrace the student athlete, the former student athletes. It is part of the process. And I want to tell every former student athlete that you are welcome anytime, anywhere, any place, be a part of this process and this continued movement. I had a chance to bump Matt Hasselbeck, and he was incredible. I can't wait to meet all of the athletes that have come through the heights. But you're right. I mean, there's a story. This is a storied program, and that's what makes me so fired up to get started, because it's there, right? The passion is there. The history's there. We just need to keep moving forward.
What are you going to miss most about Philadelphia?
I'm going to miss the people. I'm going to miss the people. Our people here, the people at Temple were fantastic. And food's good. I'm going to miss
there
my
we
staff.
go. There we go.
Yeah. I'm going to miss my staff. I'm going to miss the athletes here. We built something special, and it will continue. The momentum will carry. But I got to tell you, the family and the people here at Temple were amazing. Just top to bottom, and so that was a little bittersweet. We talk about a family culture. I believe that. So I'm going to miss everybody deeply. The student athletes are amazing.
Pat, let me tell you something. If I lived in Philadelphia I would bring a chair. I would go to the Reading terminal and bring a chair, and I would just go from one spot to the next. I don't care if they're closing or not. I'd say, I'll go sweep the floors. I'll have this thing looking spick and span for you by 6 a.m. I'm telling you what, man, I'd go up there for that Army-Navy game, and we would stay right across from the Reading terminal,
Yep.
and I'm like, man, between the Amish bakery and the Knicks, I mean, I would be there, and I'd weigh 625 pounds if I lived in Philadelphia.
Exactly. Yes. I feel your pain. That's why my second career will be a Peloton instructor, because I have to ride the Peloton so much because the food. Now I'm excited about the food in Boston. So,
Yeah.
but yes, it is very difficult to keep the pounds off.
Oh, man. So good.
Hey, Pat, real quick, and Mark and I spent some time in our first half hour talking about this, and that is, this is a landscape that none of us have ever seen, right, in our lives, especially as it relates to the return of sports after a pandemic. And on the backside, we hope, certainly, of the pandemic. You've got a first-year coach up there. Jeff Hafley is an accomplished coordinator who now gets an opportunity to run his own program, and he's kind of been dealt some tough cards to play here. You played football in the Big Ten at Indiana. I mean, what is he going through? How do you help him? How do you support a guy like that who's, quite frankly, had all this momentum, and now all of a sudden it got stymied, and now he's got to re-engineer it, so to speak?
Well, yeah, I've talked to Jeff quite a bit now, and look at I've been through head football coaching transitions, whether it was for 17 days or whatever, and they're difficult on the norm. I mean, just the best of circumstances. And so what I told Jeff was, listen, you've got to just trust the process, build your culture. I'm going to have his back no matter what. But I will tell you this, I am so excited to work with him. He hasn't wavered. He hasn't made an excuse. He and I, he's asking questions. And so all I can do is provide my support. We got to get all our student athletes back healthy. But look, these are tough. They're difficult, like I said, normally. He's had 5 spring practices, but I will tell you, he's done an amazing job without being around on campus. So I can't wait to see what he's like, when he's got all the tools and all the resources, behind him, and he can be in his office. I'm excited about the staff. I think he's done an amazing job, but I will tell you, it's simply this. I'm here to support him and to help him and walk him through this process. And I say, just coach ball, stay focused on doing the right things, build your culture, and do it the right way now. Don't take shortcuts. We will not take shortcuts. We've learned it here. And so I really believe things work out and he's the right guy at the right time.
Well, we welcome you to the league. We look forward to breaking bread with you, all right, ACC style, if that's all right with you.
I appreciate that. I'm excited for it. No, thank you. I'm so excited to be part of the ACC. I look forward to joining you guys more, and we're ready to go. Go BC.